The bedroom was suffocatingly quiet, save for the faint hum of the air conditioner and the erratic thump of my heart. I stood frozen, my wife's phone glowing in my trembling hand, its screen casting a cold light across our wedding photo on the nightstand. The text message stared back at me. Can't stop thinking about last night. When can I see you again? It wasn't from me. The sender's name, Chris, burned into my retina like a brand. My knees buckled, and I sank onto the edge of the bed, the mattress creaking under my weight. 17 years of marriage, 2 kids, a mortgage, a life built brick by brick. Had it all been a lie? I'd never snooped before. Not once. But tonight, when Sarah left her phone on the counter and stepped into the shower, something gnawed at me. Maybe it was the way she'd been distant lately, her laughter a little too bright, her eyes avoiding mine at dinner. Or maybe it was the late-night work calls she took in the garage, her voice muffled through the door. I told myself it was nothing, stress, midlife, the grind of raising teenagers. But now, with that message searing my brain, doubt clawed at my chest like a trapped animal. I scrolled, my thumb shaking. More texts. You make me feel alive. Miss you already. Each word was a knife, slicing through the fragile trust I'd clung to. I wanted to scream, to hurl the phone against the wall, but I couldn't move. The shower stopped. The bathroom door creaked open, and Sarah emerged, towel-wrapped, her dark hair dripping onto the hardwood. She froze when she saw me, her phone still in my hand. Mark, what are you doing? Her voice was sharp, but there was something else, fear, maybe guilt, flickering in her hazel eyes. I held up the phone, my voice barely a whisper. Who's Chris? Her face drained of color, and for a moment, the world held its breath. She opened her mouth, closed it, then forced a laugh that sounded like breaking glass. Chris? From work. It's nothing, just team stuff. Why are you looking at my phone? She reached for it, but I pulled back, my pulse hammering. Team stuff, I said, my voice rising despite myself. This doesn't sound like team stuff, Sarah. Can't stop thinking about last night? What the hell does that mean? She crossed her arms, her towel slipping slightly, revealing the familiar curve of her shoulder. You're overreacting. It's just a misunderstanding. Give me the phone, Mark. But I couldn't. Not yet. The kids' faces flashed in my mind. Ellie's braces-filled grin, Jack's quiet smirk. Were they even mine? The thought hit me like a freight train, irrational but unstoppable. I'd always trusted Sarah implicitly, her warmth, her steadiness. But now, every memory felt tainted. The late nights she'd blamed on deadlines, the weekend trips for conferences, the way she'd started locking her phone. How had I missed it? Tell me the truth, I said, my voice cracking. Are you sleeping with him? Her eyes widened, then narrowed. How dare you? She snapped, but her hands trembled as she tightened the towel. After everything we've been through, you think I'd do that? Then explain this. I shoved the phone toward her, the screen still glowing with betrayal. She didn't look at it. Instead, she turned away, her shoulders hunching as if shielding herself from the accusation. The silence was unbearable. I wanted her to fight back, to prove me wrong, to laugh it off as a cruel joke. But she didn't. She just stood there, her back to me, the drip of water from her hair marking time like a metronome. My mind raced, replaying every moment of doubt I'd buried. The way she'd smiled at her phone during dinner last week, the faint scent of unfamiliar cologne on her scarf, the way she'd stopped saying, I love you first. Sarah, I said, softer now, pleading. Just tell me. Whatever it is, I need to know. She turned slowly, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. It's not what you think, she whispered. Chris, he's just a friend. Someone I talk to. Work's been hell, and you've been so distant, Mark. I needed someone. Needed someone? My voice broke, anger and hurt colliding. What about me? What about us? We have kids, Sarah. A family. And you're texting some guy about last night. It wasn't physical, she said quickly, stepping toward me. I swear, Mark. It's just emotional. I got caught up. I'm sorry. Emotional. The word felt like a slap. Was that better or worse? A secret part of her heart given to someone else, while I'd been here, changing diapers, paying bills, believing we were in this together. I wanted to believe her, to cling to the life we'd built, But the doubt was a poison seeping into every memory. Then why didn't you tell me? I asked, my throat tight. Why hide it? She looked away, her fingers twisting the edge of the towel. Because I knew you'd react like this. I didn't want to hurt you. Hurt me. I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. You've destroyed me, Sarah. The words hung between us, heavy and final. Her tears spilled over, but I couldn't comfort her. Not now. Not when my world was unraveling. I thought of Ellie and Jack, asleep down the hall. Did they know? Had they sensed the fracture in our family? The thought of them caught in this mess made my stomach churn. I stood, the phone still clutched in my hand. I need to think, I said, my voice flat. I can't do this right now. Mark, please, she said, reaching for me, but I stepped back, the distance between us a chasm I didn't know how to cross. I walked out, the cool night air hitting my face as I stepped onto the porch. The neighborhood was quiet, the streetlights casting long shadows across the lawn. I sank onto the steps, the phone still in my hand, its screen now dark. I wanted to call Chris, to confront him, to demand answers. But what good would it do? The truth was already out. A jagged wound I couldn't unsee. Then my eyes caught something in the driveway. Sarah's car, parked at an odd angle, like she'd been in a hurry. And there, on the passenger seat, barely visible through the window, was a man's jacket. Not mine. The sight was a final, brutal confirmation, shattering the last shred of denial. I didn't know if our kids were mine, if our love had ever been real, or if I could ever trust again. But one thing was certain. The life I'd known was gone, and the man I'd been went with it.